I came across this post, and I'm not going to read all of it, but basically to summarize it, Michael B. Jordan, when preparing for the role of Killmonger, he said that he pretty much tapped into something that was unfamiliar and that he really didn't like. What really stuck out here is where it says his psychiatrist successfully returned his mind to its original state. Yeah, let's unpack that. Now, there are two angles that I'm going to unpack, and both of them matter. First topic I want to unpack is how real energy transference is. Energy is contagious, emotions are contagious, trauma is contagious, mindsets are contagious. That's where neuroscience and spirituality meet. You ever hang around somebody that's been like real irritated all day, had a nasty stank ass attitude, and then you notice that you taking on the same energy? You start talking like them, thinking like them, reacting just like them. And then one day you stop and pause, because remember, that's where God is. And you think to yourself, why am I acting like this? Why do I feel like this? When did this start? And then you quickly recognize, this ain't even my energy. Actors are especially vulnerable to this. They don't just pretend. They study, they embody, they internalize, they become. So yeah, it's real possible that Michael B. Jordan took on the energy of Killmonger, that grief, that anger, that displacement. And what happened is it stayed longer than the role. You can't step into certain frequencies without leaving a finger or a footprint. Now, just like the point was made in this post, the second angle is, what if he wasn't losing it? What if he tapped into his true self? Like, what if he didn't tap into something new as far as Killmonger's energy? What if he tapped into something ancient? Because Killmonger wasn't just angry. He felt displaced from his lineage, just like a lot of us do. He felt dispossessed. He felt cut off from his ancestry. He felt like he was raised in survival mode because he was. You got to say to yourself, maybe this energy is not fictional. Possibly it's ancestral memory. You can think back to points of your life where you felt that deep rage and you don't even realize where it came from, or that grief that do not match your current life. What about that fire that scared the hell out of you and you like, where did this come from? It's like when somebody get bullied for years and they finally beat the bully's ass. Everybody looking around like, damn, I ain't know they had it in them. That ain't no madness. That's memory. Body gonna remember what the mind was trained to forget. When he tapped into that Killmonger frequency, his body was most likely like, hold on, this is not familiar. AKA, this don't match the programming I was under. And what do we do when something doesn't fit the program? We try to fix it, medicate it, we label it, we normalize it back into comfort. What you gotta truly enter and overstand is when it comes to healing with the system involved, that just means returning you back to what's familiar. This whole thing is truly about discernment. Some things feel uncomfortable because they're toxic, yes. Some things feel uncomfortable because it's the truth knocking and you scared to answer. If you've been programmed to survive in a certain box, anything outside of the box is going to feel like danger. This is why the saying is, think outside the box, and yet when you do, they call you crazy. Not everything that destabilizes you is meant to destroy you, okay? Some things are meant to wake you up. Point number one is energy transference, very real. Because again, you can absorb people, roles, spaces, trauma, and beliefs. And this is why discernment matters. This is also why when people start touching on that ancestral memory, that cosmic memory, that deep truth, the system gonna rush in almost every single time and say, let's return you back to normal, okay? Let's get you to feeling better. I want you to ask yourself, normal for who? I know I'm just here to make you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.